You ever notice how some people were born into luxury, but still look emotionally tired? They have expensive clothes, big houses, family money, connections, and the kind of life most people dream about. But sometimes, behind all of that, there's pressure nobody talks about. Because growing up rich doesn't automatically make someone emotionally free. In fact, for some people, it creates a completely different kind of struggle. And if you've ever met someone with rich parents who seem distant, confused, emotionally guarded, or weirdly insecure, there's usually a psychological reason behind it. What you're about to hear is not about hating rich people. It's about understanding what happens to the human mind when comfort is given before identity is built. Psychology researchers from places like the London School of Economics and studies around emotional development often show one important thing. A person's emotional health is not shaped only by money. It's shaped by attention, pressure, expectations, love, and how safe they feel being themselves. And sometimes, children born into wealth grow up learning that their value comes from status, not personality. That changes people more than we realize. One of the biggest psychological traits in people who had rich parents since birth is hidden pressure. From the outside, their life looks easy, but inside, many feel like they were born into a role they never chose. Think about it. If your family is wealthy, people expect something from you before they even know you. You must look successful, act perfect, protect the family image, stay high value. Even their mistakes feel public. A normal person fails quietly, but rich families often fear embarrassment more than failure itself. So the child grows up learning one dangerous lesson: don't disappoint people. And after years of this, some stop knowing who they really are. Another common thing is emotional loneliness. This one surprises many people, because people assume money automatically creates happiness and connection. But emotional connection doesn't come from luxury, it comes from presence. Some rich children grow up surrounded by workers, drivers, maids, security, private schools, busy parents, yet emotionally, they still feel alone. Not because nobody was around them, but because nobody truly understood them. A report from Harvard University has talked about how close relationships are one of the strongest predictors of long-term happiness, not money. And that explains why some wealthy people still struggle emotionally, despite having everything material. Sometimes a child receives gifts instead of attention, and over time, they stop asking for emotional support completely. Another hidden psychology is fear of being used. People with rich parents often grow up questioning relationships. Do they like me or my lifestyle? Would this person stay if I had nothing? That constant doubt slowly creates emotional walls. This is why some wealthy people look cold or distant at first, not because they think they're better, but because trust became difficult for them. Imagine growing up knowing people treat you differently because of your last name. Even friendships can feel confusing, and when trust becomes uncertain, the mind starts protecting itself. Another interesting thing is identity confusion. When someone grows up rich since birth, their life path is often planned early. Family business, family reputation, family expectations. Everything already exists before the child even understands who they are. So many secretly ask themselves, if I lost the money, who would I actually be? That question scares people more than they admit. Because deep down, every human wants to feel valuable without needing a label. Some rich children become extremely ambitious because of this. They work obsessively, not because they need money, but because they need proof that they matter on their own. And honestly, that pressure can become exhausting. There's also something psychologists call emotional performance. This means acting emotionally fine even when struggling inside. In wealthy families, image matters a lot. So sadness, anxiety, failure, or insecurity sometimes get hidden instead of discussed. The child learns to smile in public while silently feeling lost in private. And the scary part is, when people always see your perfect life, they stop believing your pain is real. That creates emotional isolation, because nobody checks on the person who already has everything. Another powerful psychological effect is comparison addiction. Many people born rich grow up in environments where success never feels enough. There's always someone richer, someone more powerful, someone more respected. So even luxury stops feeling special after a while. This is called hedonic adaptation in psychology. The human brain gets used to comfort quickly. What once felt exciting becomes normal, and when a person keeps chasing bigger status, just to feel worthy, peace slowly disappears. That's why some wealthy people constantly upgrade everything, but still feel emotionally empty, because external success cannot permanently fix internal insecurity. But here's the twist most people miss. Growing up rich can also create strengths. Some become highly disciplined. Some learn responsibility early. Some become emotionally aware because they've seen fake people their whole life. And some develop deep empathy after realizing money cannot solve loneliness. Pain is pain, even when it happens in a mansion. That's important to understand, because trauma does not compare bank accounts before entering someone's life. Now, if you relate to this in any way, here are a few things that genuinely help. Learn who you are without your family image. Spend time with people who treat you normally. Build one thing that belongs completely to you. Allow yourself to be imperfect around trusted people. And most importantly, stop believing your worth depends on status, because the healthiest people in the world are not the richest. They are the people who feel emotionally safe being themselves. At the end of the day, every human wants the same thing: to feel accepted, understood, and loved without performing all the time. Money can buy comfort, but it cannot replace emotional connection. And maybe that's why some people born into luxury still spend their whole life searching for peace inside themselves. If this made you think differently about people, or maybe even about yourself, then let me know in the comments. What do you think is harder, growing up with no money or growing up with pressure nobody understands? And if you enjoy deep psychology and human behavior videos like this, subscribe and stay here for the next one. Because sometimes, understanding people changes the way we understand ourselves.